Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video.
Water parks. Sunscreen, children laughing, your skin peeling away as you hurtle down a slide. Now it's not just avoiding sunburn or keeping your phone dry. Any water park can be fun, but it can also hide hidden dangers. Poor maintenance, broken glass, penis worms. So let's just dive in. This is Aquaslash. One night at the Wet Valley Water Park, two teenagers sneak in after hours to engage in premarital sex. Before they can finish, an unseen attacker dismembers them with a machete. Later, the graduating class of Valley Hills High visits the water park. We immediately have some bullying because someone doesn't like the band. Graduation is over, but for some reason they're attending something after graduation. Does that happen now? Usually when graduation, everyone's like, pfft. Graduation may be over, but some people know this is where they peaked, so the hat stays on. There's already sex, booze, barely legal partiers. This place is an 80s serial killer Disneyland.
Conrad Carter, I'll make everything work here.
Conrad seems to have worked here since before it opened, and he's a little off.
You guys aren't gonna be playing any of that electronic dance shit tonight?
Okay, a lot off.
Playing hits from the 1980s.
Speaking of the 80s, this is when the place was at its peak. They say 80s, but the sepia flashback color grading says 70s. Anyway, a guy drowns. Or something, because there's blood everywhere. Oh, and what about those two at the beginning?
Didn't people die here? The Wet Valley murders?
Murder.
Yeah, we don't count prologue victims. We even get a bikini car wash at a water park. Pretend they're over 18 and let's just move on. Band member Josh used to date Kim, who now dates Tommy, who works here.
Babe, I'm hungry.
You can tell how he scored her. Two idiots jump down a water slide, one of them holding a glass bottle.
Coors Banquet has always been brewed with pure Rocky Mountain water.
And it ends badly.
Coors Banquet, brewed in Golden, Colorado.
Ooh.
This is Priscilla, former student, who every year supposedly chooses one grad to relieve them of their virginity. Was this made in the 80s? Conrad has to clean up the pool, but management won't let him drain the water, so bits of glass and brains will just make it more exciting. More sex and drugs, and lost earrings.
I found it.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Got a little surprise for y'all.
I think this is the worst time to introduce black light, don't you think? The band starts playing, Josh and Kimberly have sex in the showers, but someone records it and the video is streamed to everyone at the show. Sucks because it kind of takes focus off the band and they rehearsed and everything. The way this was edited, it made it look like it was happening at the same time, but Josh is up there on stage and her boyfriend punches him out. He's fired because you don't stop the music, man. Lobster Man is Josh's dad, and he's trying to give the park to him. But he don't want daddy's money.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
That night, an unseen craftsman installs razor-sharp blades in the middle of one of the three water slides.
X-Force!
That same person shoots and kills Michael. Oh, that's what happened to the two from the beginning. Wait, are those the murders they were talking about? But if they hadn't recovered the bodies, how did they know there were murders? Ugh, logic. Conrad is just full of relationship advice.
She doesn't love you. Leave me alone.
Quit denying it. I'm the one you want.
Mom, look!
A kid finds a Sony Walkman. Are we sure this wasn't made in the 80s? Ignore the pools of blood for now. This is just starting. Paul catches his wife cheating on him again. She does this a lot. The main event is a race to the bottom. Teams will compete to slide down. The first team to the bottom in one piece wins.
We've been practicing our moves. You want to see what you've been missing?
I believe the correct response is bring it. They have this kind of weird dance-off comparing how they'll navigate the slide. I don't have faith in either team at this point. And why do I have such a hard time telling the adults from the kids? Tommy notices a leak from where the blades were installed because somebody doesn't know how to waterproof their death trap. You're wasting water. Have some pride. It's worth doing right.
But don't go down!
He tries to warn them, but nobody will listen. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a movie. I mean it. The movie is literally written around this scene, which starts 52 minutes in. Game on. Remember, 2 of the slides are okay, but the third... 3 girls hit the blades. The first girl gets chopped into 4 pieces. The middle gets kind of jammed into the blade, and the last girl is okay for now, but she's stuck in a bad spot. Does anyone have a Tampax? There's a lot more blood than should be possible. Conrad faints, so there's nobody to tell them to stop sending kids through the slide. Next batch. I kind of have to admire the quality of this edge. Even after chopping up several graduates, still razor sharp. Everyone gets covered in blood. It's weird how some people don't notice the blood right away. And it's implied more people go down the bad slide, but we really don't see. That might have been it for the budget. Well, the mayhem is finally over. And later, Josh inherits his dad's stuff, including the water park. Turned it into an apartment building or something. So who's the killer? 35 years ago, Priscilla's dad was killed at the same water park, and nobody helped him. Kind of a Jason, Camp Crystal Lake kind of situation. So I guess this was a long con to get revenge. She installed the blades, shot Michael, and butchered those others.
Who the hell cares?
Wow, that was Aquaslash. In 1997, a water slide in Concord, California failed when too many high schoolers went through at the same time and caused a collapse that killed 1 and injured 30 others. Since any failure can be terrifying, adding blades is just kind of over the top. You can tell the movie was written around this finale. It's the centerpiece of the entire movie. But for most of the movie, you don't even know what it's building to, unless you've seen the trailer or any number of clips on TikTok. There's not one single likable character in this whole movie. I had nobody to root for. Aquaslash is a campy, low-budget slasher that tries to tap into 80s horror nostalgia, but the film doesn't quite capture that suspense or atmosphere of more classic slashers. The pacing is inconsistent, with much of the runtime dedicated to teenage drama, which detracts from the tension building towards the film's bloody payoff. The visual effects and kills are its primary attraction, and the film makes the most of it in the final act. However, there are long, boring stretches of where the film lacks any kind of excitement leading up to the climax. The water park setting never quite becomes menacing. The film doesn't effectively transition from the carefree tone to dread. The characters spend most of their time in juvenile, stereotypical conflicts that feel like filler. Cinematography is nothing special, with slow motion and overlong shots that kind of grind the tension to a stutter during the climactic bloodbath. 3 slides, so you're kind of guessing sometimes who's gonna get it, but it's so awkwardly edited the tension falls flat. Acting is bad, bad, porno bad. The casting is also weird. The age gaps don't seem wide enough between adults and the grads. The plot is a mess. The story, centered on the teens, feels like it belongs in an 80s teen sex comedy, and just feels like filler. There's no suspense, and if you didn't know what it was building to, it would just feel pointless. The big twist seemed to have been pulled out of thin air with only a single image to foreshadow, and even that didn't have enough to link to anything else in the movie. Priscilla as the killer was not expected, nor was it satisfying. Maybe the movie needed more variation in the water slide kills? Maybe an electrocution, or a drowning, or how about placing part of the water slide with a giant cheese grater? That would have been, ugh! Even this part from The Simpsons was more terrifying. Aquaslash is 1.5 Bs. A razor-thin plot, see what I did there, a lack of suspense and underused setting makes it less effective as a slasher. With one big, memorable sequence, it mostly lacks any atmosphere or tension. It tries to be a quirky comedy, but it also forgot it's trying to be a horror movie. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.